What's up, guys? It's Benches, and welcome to Super Mario Brothers. You're probably asking yourself, why are we... I've done videos on Super Mario Brothers before, why are we playing it again? Because, well, one, it's my channel, I can upload whatever I want, so be nice, first of all. Second of all, it's because we're getting to that point where the great gods of Nintendo have decided to dawn upon us a brand new Mario game, and that is Super Mario Odyssey. So, much like I've done in the past with other games that I'm really excited about, we're going to be doing the Super Mario Brothers Legacy. And what that is I'm going to be playing all the mainline Mario games, and that just means the Mario-specific Mario games. So that's Mario 1, 2, 3, The Lost Levels, Super Mario World, Super Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, Galaxy 2, New Super Mario Bros. I guess I can count New Super Mario Brothers, but I don't know yet. But anyways, we're gonna be playing a lot of Mario games in the midst of getting ready to play Super Mario Odyssey later this month. I'm really excited. We're gonna release some childhood memories. So let's get started. Super Mario Brothers begins right now. So, first things first. If you guys know the Mario, if you love the Mario, if you're a part of the Mario, then you know this game is a bit of a history piece, man. It was the first game that was bundled with the NES. It's literally the one game that most people, including myself, to this day, consider this is what saved the video game industry. Because at the time, they were going through a pretty big drought in the game industry. They were just like, people don't really plan to play games anymore. Video games are kind of just a fad. Because this was over after the whole debacle with the Atari and everything like that. And just, it became oversaturated and people stopped playing them and then just everything. But then, lo and behold, a little company by the name of Nintendo decided, hey, we want to stop from being just a toy company, and we're gonna dive into this world of video games. And so they did that, and in the process, they decided, hey, we need a flagship franchise that'll send off our console and everything like that, and we'll get started off on the right foot. So they took to one of their lead designers, their lead game creators, and that was the man, the myth, the legend, Shigeru Miyamoto. For people who already know who Shigeru Miyamoto is kind of like, he's like the Stan Lee of video games. And not in the sense of he puts himself in every video game he's in, but he's kind of like the base man who created a world that we all know and love today. And I think that's what really kind of sets it apart from everything else. Because at the time when this game came out, no one had really ever seen something like this before. And I hit a Goomba. Alright, that's okay. But yeah, so a lot of people never have seen anything like this before. It's like, what is this game that everybody... God, I'm trying to do speedrun stuff and I'm not doing... So they're like, what is this game that everybody keeps talking about? And then just word started spreading, and then just people were playing games again. People were jumping back in, buying this NES console, buying games on it, and everybody would get like, because everybody knows if you got an NES, it came with a copy of Super Mario Brothers. So there's clearly no way or no reason if you ever got an NES that you wouldn't have Super Mario Brothers. It was like this game was meant for you to be. It was meant to be played. There was no reason whatsoever. That's why, like now, if you really think about it, if you go to any place like a yard sale, a swap meet, a pawn shop, or anything like that, and they're just selling a regular NES just out of the blue, what's the one game that you will always see with that bundle? You'll always see Super Mario Brothers. You'll always see it. And it might just be the regular standalone cartridge for Super Mario Brothers, or it'll be like the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt combo, like the 2 games in one, or it'll be the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt and Track and Field game that they bundled back with it back in the day. So clearly, it didn't matter what you did, you were eventually going to play Super Mario Brothers if you had this on the NES. And it's just a it's a timeless thing, man. Because myself personally, when I was a kid, I didn't really play video games that much, because one, I didn't have a console. Like my parents really couldn't afford one at the time. But the way I actually got into video games was because, well, one, Super Mario Brothers got me into it. But when I was a kid, I would have a babysitter that I would stay at their house, you know, while my parents were out at work and everything like that. And they would, you know, they would keep me entertained and everything like that. And it was just like, oh, hey. And it was actually my babysitter's daughter that showed it to me. So another reason why I really respect women in the gaming industry is because it was actually a woman who got me into video games, which is something I will truly treasure and love to the end of time. Because it's just, it's really cool, because most of the time people say it's like their friends or an older brother or something. But it was a girl. A girl taught me how to love, respect, and enjoy video games. And one of the first games that she showed me was Super Mario Brothers. And it was like, and again, it wasn't NES at the time, so like right when we were about to play it, as always with most NES games, especially even new ones, because they were still kind of new at the time, she would pop the cartridge in, you would close that little flap in the front, hear that familiar click on that power button, and then you would see the blinking color on the screen. You would see like pink, green, gray. And she's like, "Oh dang, it's not working. Hold on." She takes out the cartridge, does the familiar, "Hey, blow onto the cartridge." Blows into the cartridge and then puts it back in the NES, and then you see the familiar little crawl, because she had the Mario Brothers Duck Hunt cartridge. So it would start up, and you would see the logo of Super Mario Brothers on the top, and then you would see the Duck Hunt logo on the bottom. And then you would just see a little icon of Mario walking towards the logo of Super Mario Brothers. And then you hit start, and you see that familiar screen that says Super Mario Brothers, and then it has the logo, the date, and you see Mario just standing there, waiting for you to press start to introduce you to this new adventure and new experience that you're about to go on. Something that not only will you're going to have a blast playing, but it's also going to literally change your life as a person. That was that experience for me. So I pressed start, I started the game, and the first thing that happens, the first enemy that walks up is the little Goomba. I didn't know what to do. So I'm over here like, okay, I'm pressing the B button, nothing's happening. Press the start button, pauses the game. Press the select button, nothing happens. And then I discovered the jump button, and that changed everything. Because as soon as I saw Mario ascend into the sky and then come down on the Goomba like the strong, powerful warrior he is, it made me realize this is the greatest moment in my little wee kid life right now. Is this moment right here. Because stomping on that first Goomba, because I was the one who initiated that. I pressed it, it happened, I felt accomplished, and I'm just like, wow. And I just wanted to play more, and I kept playing. I think the first time I played it, and I was able to get to at least the first castle, the first Bowser lair in it, and I could never get across like the little blocks with the spinning fire sticks on them. I would always get hit, I would always lose my mushroom, and right as I get to the last one, the little fire from Bowser would come by, and I would get hit, and I would lose a life. And it got me to the point where I'm just like, I can't beat this part, it's too hard, it's too hard. And then she told me the one thing that will stick with me for, well, history repeats itself with that one. Anyway, she told me the one thing that, like, to this day, will stick with me for the rest of my life when it comes to any game that I play. And she says, hey, yes, it's hard, but the only way you're going to get better at it is if you keep trying. And that stuck with me in my head. As simple as that advice is, as simple as that is, that stuck with me. And I stick with that. Like, a game as hard as it can be, it'll only get easier if you keep trying. And I did. And I kept playing. I kept having fun. I kept going for it. And I played it more. I played it more. And the only thing after that, after the fact of that, all I wanted was an NES of my own. I wanted an NES so bad. And then and it took, I think, a few months later after I played it, my dad comes home from work. And I'm thinking that he bought it off of somebody because I remember very clearly when my dad came home from work, he didn't have like the typical NES box with him. It was in a plastic case, and I saw like the familiar color, and it had the orange zapper in it, and it had a copy of Super Mario Brothers in it. And he's like, "Yeah, I got you a Nintendo," and I'm like, "Huh, huh." In my little kid brain, I was doing backflips because it's just one of those things, man. When you're a kid, it's the small little things like getting your first real big Nintendo console or just console in general, and you realize just the amount of fun, the adventures, and just all the cool stuff that you're going to get to partake in because of it. And it was amazing. And one of the reasons why this game sits with me so well is because I remember my dad. My dad, again, love the man to the end of time. I remembered my dad would be absolutely obsessed with Super Mario Brothers. He would play it constantly every day when he would come home from work. He would come home from work. He would sit on his like lazy boy chair in the living room. He would pop it in, turn it on, and he would just start playing. And the same thing with my dad. My dad would get to, I think it was like the 4th Bowser Castle. I could never get past it. And I would just sit there and just like, it was almost like myself. I was watching Let's Plays before, like, Let's Plays were actually like a real thing. Because I loved just watching my dad play. And seeing like the stuff that he would do, or seeing like the stuff that he probably found out that I didn't know. And I think the thing that was like the best thing about it is there would always be times where my dad would get stuck somewhere, and then he would give it to me, and he's like, "See if you can figure this out." And it was just like, it was literally like a bonding experience between me and my dad. And it was just really, really cool, and it just made me really really appreciate the fact that it was the Mario that helped me and my dad get a little bit better connected with each other, because we both suck at video games. But it was just like, it's hard to explain how memorable that kind of a feeling is, you know? But in a way, it's just, it really sticks with you. It makes you really appreciate the fact that, you know, you play games, you love to play games, and there's always a reason behind it. It's not just be like, I'll play it, done. And I feel like, at least with me, anyway, that's why I have a deeper connection with, like, well, one, with my family, and two, with, like, just video games in general. Because they've always been such a big part of my life. And I feel like because a game like this, one that has been with me my entire life, because I want you guys to know, the copy of Super Mario Brothers that I'm playing right now, I am actually playing, this is the original copy that I got when I was a kid. This is the same cartridge, this is the same controller, this is the same NES, and everything like that I'm using right now. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm using a Retron to play this copy of the game. Because if I use the actual NES, the footage would look kind of, and I want the footage to look as clean as possible. So, yes, but I still do have my original NES I've had since I was a kid, and like I said, this is the same copy that I've used. This is the same controller I've used. So, to think like after all this time, I'm still playing something that I've had ever since I was a wee little thing. All right, Bowser. Let me get past you. Okay. I was gonna try to do the little the glitch in the game where you have the firepower and you get hit right as you hit the axe, and you can keep your firepower even when you're small. I was trying to do that, but I goofed. I done goofed. But dude, it's just, I don't know, it's tough to explain, but like when I get the chance to talk about it, it makes me really just love it more and more. Because I'm pretty sure, like, the way I had, like, this moment with my dad, I hope to someday, when I bear children, to have that kind of similar moment. To, like, bring my kid into the world of gaming and show them what gaming is and why it's important to me. And hopefully, they take a look at this and is like, I understand why my pops likes this, and I want to be a part of it too. And it's just, I feel that's just a good way to remember this game, and just like the cool stuff that it reminds me of, and just the cool memories that it brings. Because with a lot of these games that we're going to be doing during this retrospective, it's going to be a lot. We're going to be remembering a lot of stuff. And it's just a way for me to have like small little real talks with you guys, as well go down memory lane about some things about like the video game industry, and just gaming in general, and where I was during the time when these games were out and everything like that. So hopefully you guys are gonna enjoy that and everything like that, and hopefully you'll stick around for the rest of this, because I'm really excited about this. Because I don't know, and it's honestly, it's only with Mario games. It's only with Mario games that, like, it's almost like a completely different, like, emotion that goes through you when you play games like this. But I think that'll do it for this first episode of the Super Mario Retrospective. And in the next one, guys, we're hopping in to the second game in the Super Mario Bros. Franchise, and that is Super Mario Bros. 2. And we're going to be doing a dual video with that one. We're also going to be doing the Lost Levels, which is the Japanese version Super Mario Bros. 2, as well as the American version, which was originally Doki Doki Panic, but is now, at least in Japan, it's called Super Mario Bros. USA. So hopefully you guys are going to be down for that. Hopefully you guys will be interested in seeing the next one, because this is one retrospective that I'm really, really excited to do. So hopefully it will be fun, and hopefully you guys enjoy. So until then, this was Super Mario Brothers. I've been Benchez. I love all your faces. Be nice to everybody out there, and I'll see you folks in the next one. See you next time.